We're going to replace tie rod bushings for upper tie rods on the Monaco. Oh yeah, I wasn't going to show this, but I think I better because it's nice. You might like to see it, and that'd be a good thing, wouldn't it? So, what we got to do is clean. Scrapey, scrapey, scrapey with your favorite, and my favorite, long time use for everything on this car. Scrape out that. This was an undercoated car. It still has a lot of heavy undercoating. Also desert dust and things, so I have been scraping and cleaning, and we're getting ready to take that ball joint off, take those pins out, and then that whole upper control arm comes out. You separate it from the taper fit ball joint off of here, and make sure that doesn't fly out so you hurt your brake hose. Tie it down, and then you take that whole piece out. I'm going to try to get this and replace it too. That is the upper ball joint. It is screwed in Chrysler style, and the pressure is not on this joint. It's a lower ball joint that takes the torsion bar suspension and puts the car weight on the lower ball joint. Yep, you're welcome. Stick around. Welcome, friends, neighbors, Romans, and countrymen. We're working on the Monaco, which is Monica, like a Lewinsky. She's awesome. Okay, so we are replacing the tie rod bushings on the upper part of this car. So we are replacing the tie rod bushings on the upper control arm on the right side of this car, because I did the other ones yesterday and it was easier than I thought. Stick around. These little buggers have eccentrics. These little buggers have eccentrics so they can adjust the toe, caster and camber mostly, but some toe a little bit. You got to change that up at the same time. Yep. These can usually just push out where they are. So those eccentric washer bolts are out. These are the things that make the suspension go in and out in a slot that's in there. You can see the slot there. Yep, that makes them go in and out and roundabout. Yep, cleaning things up. And now we're just gonna, I think that's out down there. Yep, it's coming, just dropping right out here. That'll just come right out and pop out of there. Yep, so that's what it looks like. That's how bad it was. There's where it goes. There's the slots. Oh yeah, we're cranking. Yeah, so now it's nighttime. I went to a nice dinner with my friend, and I'm back at it, and we'll see how it goes. Thumbs up. Let's get to it. So I'm sorry, but you didn't get to see how we pushed in those bushings or how we took them out. That's just painted and stuff, but we pushed those bushings in by using some pipes. This pipe fit over exactly over on the bushings. I think it was like that. So when you're driving it back in, it drove that in like that. It drove it in just right. You got to hold it down, maybe with a vise or something. You have to put possibly another pipe underneath a larger pipe, which was this one. This pipe turned out to be holding the A-arm correctly, and then this one was helping to drive in the bushing, and it took some pretty good hammer blows. I think that's 4 pound. Friend couldn't quite do it, but I had it just right, so I knew how to drive them in hard, fairly hard. That just has to get pushed back into the A-arm in the correct manner. Yep. So I also had difficulty getting that to go down into the top of the spindle housing, tapered fit, nut on the bottom. It wasn't far enough, so I had to put the nut without the washer, pull that up, get it tight, back off the nut, then get the washer in there. It's all painted up now, and then back on and put the cotter through. So it's good, but it was hard to drag it together because the suspension wants to keep it apart, and our new bump stop under there is holding this from going all the way down to be able to get that in there easily. It's all trial error, it's all hammers and brains, if those go together. Yep. So I use a little persuasion to knock things around to get stuff to hit right. Like I got to get that into that slot correctly, and I could either rotate or just knock this, because there's a slot that goes this way, slot that goes this way for adjustment to that. Yep. So the eccentrics are in. Had to twist them a little bit to get those on. These nuts are tightened to roughly at 40, 50, 60 foot-pounds. I like to have grease around that I can put on stuff to work with. That's in there. So we are going to only put the wheel on, I think. I got these eccentrics about midway, a little bit farther in, because they used to be worn, so I think that would be more correct. But I think we're pretty much done. Yep. I like to use a lot of paint because I drive this in the winter when they use snow plows and Epsom salts. You know what I'm talking about. Lots of paint. It's called Garage Mayhem. Not too bad though, actually. So we're gonna put that wheel on, go give her a test drive. Seems to be just fine. Hands off. Oh yeah. Gotta love it. You're welcome. You know what? I look good, so my car doesn't have to.